tackles. And these are the defensive linemen. And I'm going to start with the guy, right, number one. His name is Mason Graham. And I have him number one on my list as one of the top defensive tackles. They have him as well. When I tell you about Mason Graham, if you haven't looked up his highlights, I challenge you to look up the highlights of defensive tackle Mason Graham. When I tell you he changes, I think he's like 307 pounds. The man is super athletic. He can stop the run and he can get after the pass, the quarterback as well. So this guy is probably the best defensive tackle coming out of this draft. I'm going to keep it real. But there's another guy on his team that I like as well. But Mason Graham, oh my goodness. Please watch his highlights, y'all. He is one of the most, man, when you talk about a defensive tackle that's fun to watch, he's all over the place. He's always making a play. He's always where the ball is. And I'm telling you, he is the elite of the elite in this draft for the defensive tackle position. Mason Graham, Mason Graham, Mason Graham. On the big board, they got him ranked number 4. Now, I mean, that's just their opinion. He could be ranked number 3. That's how good I think he is. Because you got to talk about the quarterbacks. You got to go with the quarterbacks first. And then, yeah, so you got to start with the quarterbacks. But we'll see what happens in the draft. But this is what they're saying for their strength, for his strengths. Elite first step explosiveness. Oh, my gosh, on the highlights, I'm telling you, he has to get double-teamed on that offensive line for you to block this guy. This man is explosive. This man he'll overpower you. He'll finesse you. He'll do anything he needs to do to get past you. You know what I mean? To get past the center, guard, whoever's trying to stop him from getting to that quarterback or whoever's trying to stop him from getting to that running back. I'm telling you, this guy is the real deal. And they also say excellent bend and flexibility for an interior player. I agree with that. His athleticism, his flexibility to change direction to go make a tackle is second to none in this draft. And I'm not just saying that because I'm overrating this bull. I'm telling you, I ain't watched every game of the Michigan Michigan Wolverines. I didn't watch every game, but I'm telling you, I watched the highlights of this dude. This man is special. This man is that bull. He really is that bull. And I got to talk that talk about this guy. I got to talk that talk.
That talk.
Fast and explosive hands. That's a fact. Devastating push-pull move. That's a fact. Strong player who can hold the line. This man is different, man. There's levels to the game. Like Meek Mill said, there's levels to the game, young bull. That's what Meek Mill said in one of his songs. In the beginning of his intro, in one of his songs, he said, there's levels to the game, young bull. There's levels to the game. They say Big Boy rank 4. He could debatably be, I think he's top 3. That's just my opinion. He top 3 in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it depends on the team's needs. But if there's any way possible, if he somehow, please, if he somehow falls in the draft, please draft Mason Graham, Vikings. Or crazy. Don't overthink it. This guy right here is special. And he's going to be a superstar the first year in the NFL. I'm telling you this right now. The weakness that they say, arms appear to be on the shorter side. Now, this is the bull crap I can't stand about PFF. First and foremost, how do y'all really going to tell, like, how can y'all really know that someone's arms is a little bit too small? What if a guy's arms is the typical size that you want it to be, and he has no game? This guy on the screen, when you watch, don't overthink it. You see him, you're watching him, you see what he does every single game. He shows up. Why are we looking at his arm length, bro? Like, we got to stop the cap, man. For real. I'm so over that.
Really. Stop
I'm so over that. They said the same thing about Ivan Pace Jr. They said Ivan Pace Jr. was his arms are too small. But when he's in the NFL right now, crazy got him, undrafted free agent, and he's cooking. Since he's been in the NFL, Ivan Pace Jr., our linebacker's been cooking with his so-called shorter arms. I don't understand why they be saying some of that stuff, man. Oh, his hands are a little bit too small. How do y'all be coming up with this stuff? Can the man play or can he not play? That should be the bottom line to it. Can the man play or can he not? And Mason Graham can play. I don't even want to hear no more negativity about any. I don't even want to hear the weaknesses on PFF, man. They get on my nerves sometimes. I'm gonna keep it real. They get on my nerves sometimes, for real. Now this is the second defensive tackle from Michigan, right? And his name is Kenneth Grant. And I did a mock draft, and he dropped to the number 24 spot. And I said, what? I had to double take, and I said, what? Let's talk that talk Wednesday, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the building right now. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But I was like super shocked that Kenneth Grant dropped to 24th in my mock draft. And this is the strengths that he said that they're saying, PFF is saying, right? Unique quickness for a player of his size. Let me tell you this right now. Oh my gosh. I seen a play where the running back got to the second level, meaning he got past the defensive line, and he was where the safeties and the corners, they were the last resort. In your opinion, that's what you would think. This man is like 339 pounds. I'm not making this up, y'all. 340 pounds, Kenneth Grant. And somehow, some way, he caught up to the running back that got to the second level of the defense. Don't ask me how fast this man is. I don't know what he's running in the 40. I don't know. But when I tell you this man don't give up on plays, and oh my God, his athleticism and quickness to recover, to go get a running back that's way ahead of him, you know what I mean, that's possibly faster than him, to catch up to him and make the tackle, because I forgot what game it was, but it would have been a game. It would have been a touchdown if Kenneth Grant, your defensive tackle, potentially Minnesota Vikings fans, didn't make that tackle on that running back. I'm telling you, it would have been a touchdown. I'm trying to tell you. But when they say unique quickness for a player his size, they're not even over-exaggerating, bro. They're not over-exaggerating whatsoever. Also, they say quick to get to counters. Now, that's another fact, man. That's another fact. Quick to get the counters. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Active hands in passing lane for batted passes. That's another thing. I forgot how tall this man is, but he's tall, and if he can't get to the quarterback, he's going to bat that ball down. And I wish more defensive linemen would think about doing that, man. Sometimes you can't get to the quarterback, but if you can make the throw a little bit harder or potentially bat the ball down, potentially maybe get an interception. You never know. You bat the ball down, and then it goes in the air, and you possibly can get the interception, or your safety or corners or linebackers can get an interception. I like that. You know what I mean? And another thing that they're saying is just a really good athlete for a player of his size. They pretty much repeated that. But I'm going to say this right now. This guy right here is good at stopping the run. He's good at getting to the quarterback. And if he happens to somehow fall to number 24, the Vikings, I don't even care what they do in this offseason. I'm going to keep it real. If they happen to get a defensive tackle, I don't care, bro. They need to get one of these guys. I don't care. You got to, if it has to be switched to a 4-3 defense, whatever you got to do. But if you have two defensive tackles that are dominant, oh my gosh. And we need it. In our division, we got some good running backs in our division. In the NFC North division, we got that bull Gibbs, and we got that bull, what's the running back from, is it Josh Howard from the Packers? You know what I mean? So we got some good running backs in our division, man. So we have to make sure our defensive line is on point. You know what I mean? And if we could get either a Kenneth Grant or a Mason Graham in the first round in the 2025 NFL draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Mason Graham. The Minnesota Vikings select Kenneth Grant. I would love it. When it comes to the weaknesses, they say it could prioritize strength more. I ain't worried about none of that. gives up leverage and plays high. Man, I ain't worried about none of that they talking about. I ain't worried about none of their weaknesses. Then they got Ohio State Talik Williams. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I probably wouldn't draft him in the only two defensive tackles that I'm drafting in the first round is Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. But, you know what I mean, Talik Williams, he's not going to fall to the third round. So if there's somebody that you really think that he could be a very impactful player, and Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi think so be it, because he's a monster too. But there's levels to the game. You know what I mean? Talik Williams is good. They saying his strengths is compact power, stance, pre-snap, has the frame to play both nose and 3-tech, explosive first step to shoot gaps, created power in crossface, hand speed, precision, and purpose, much improved in 2024. Weaknesses, I don't really care, but I'll read some of them. Tends to pop up quickly to lose leverage, loses ground a bit too much when taken on combo blocks. That's all developing, man. Does not have enough pass rush moves / counters. That's all developing, man. All right, then they're going to go to TD Sanders from South Carolina. A lot of people like this man, TJ Sanders, not TD. TJ Sanders from South Carolina. I like him as well. They're going to say on the big board, he's 35. So they looking at him as a top second round pick. We're going to see. He might be drafted in the first round by the Minnesota Vikings. Who knows? But we shall see. Strengths, they're going to say quick hands to engage and get off blocks, plus arm length for an interior player. I can't stand when they say arm length, your arm is too short. I don't understand how they be coming up with some of this stuff, man. I mean, my goodness. Competitive third down player. Okay, I like that. Explosive first step, laterally and linearly, and has some twitch for a guy who is 295 pounds. Long arms. Man, they said that twice. I don't understand why they keep doing that. I mean, I guess you get some edge with longer arms and shorter arms, but can the man play at a level of a Mason Graham? You know what I mean? You talk about his arm length, but all I see is Mason Graham. What's that one song by DJ Khaled? All we do is win, 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 no matter. That's all he does. If it's a one-on-one block, it's over. And even in double teams, it's a lot of the time over. Same with Kenneth Grant. So all that long arms and all that, man, short arms and all that, I got to see him play. You know what I mean? That's all that matters to me. When they say weaknesses for TJ Sanders, gives up leverage quickly, can get overzealous to shoot a gap in run defense, does not hold up well against doubles, could finish tackles / sacks better. Whatever. We're going to see. We're going to see. Because if he comes to the Minnesota Vikings, all these weaknesses is gone. Can I talk that talk on Talk That Talk?
Talk that talk.
Walter Nolan, Mississippi. They got him on the big board, number 30, ranked 36 on the big board. And this is the strength that they're saying. Well-built player, incredibly strong, especially with momentum, raw strength, and explosiveness are evident consistently. Has the build to play both defensive and defensive tackle. So he's like a little hybrid. I like that. That's pretty cool. Good effort to the whistle. That's pretty good. Effort, high motor. And that's another thing about Mason Graham, high motor. And the reason why I keep on going to Mason Graham, because I just know if there's a way, man, make it happen, bro. Kenneth Grant, if there's a way, man, make it happen, bro. We're not going to sit here and play it around. We're not playing around in this draft. We're not playing around in this free agency. Whoever we need to get, go get. Whoever we need to get in the 2025 NFL draft, go get. Make it happen, bro. Make it happen, bro. Go get your guy. You know what I mean? What's his weaknesses? So Walter Nolan's weakness is look less out of control in 2024, but still needs to be more purposeful in what he does. He lacks a go-to pass rush move. That's all development, man. But that's all for the defensive tackles, man. Like I said, and I'm going to keep saying it again, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. And also, I like T.J. Sanders as well, Talik Williams. But my two guys, is Mason Graham and Kenneth Graham. You know what I mean? And this is just the opinion of PFF top interior defensive lineman in the 2025 NFL Draft. You know what I mean? So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. But that's all I got to say about the defensive tackles. Because I know this is one of the most important positions, right, that we have to address. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're a Minnesota Viking fan. We're going live for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Talk That Talk. Mondays, Talk That Talk. Wednesdays, and Talk That Talk Fridays. And we're going live for absolutely every single Minnesota Viking game. We know we don't got no games right now because we ain't in the Super Bowl, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. And this is the all season, but we still going to be lit. We still going to have fun, and we're going to talk about our favorite team, the mighty Minnesota Vikings. That's right. I said the mighty Minnesota Vikings. Shout out to everybody in the building. We ain't close enough to draft Mason. Hey, listen, I understand. I understand, Sarah. But if they're like, say he just dropped somehow, and if it's not Mason Graham, it's all good. It's all good. We got other defensive tackles to choose from. Kenneth Grant might drop to us. You feel me? Either one.